Hello everyone. In this lecture, we will discuss about the synchronous counter design. In the previous lecture, we discussed two synchronous counter, that is our Johnson counter and the ring counter. So in this lecture, we will discuss how to design a synchronous counter, because the synchronous counter, by using synchronous counter we can design any count sequence, whether it may be 0, 2, 3, 5, again 2 and 0. Fine. Up counter sequence, down counter sequence, and any random sequence we can design with the help of the synchronous counter. So in this lecture, we will start how to design a synchronous counter for any sequence. So for this lecture or for this synchronous counter design topic, we have to remember the flip-flops. You know the excitation table of flip-flops and the characteristic table of the flip-flops. Fine. So both these characteristics table and the excitation table are used to design the synchronous counter design. So now we will study the synchronous counter design. So next is synchronous counter design. Fine. So to design any synchronous counter, there are basically 5 steps. So here I am taking one example. Fine. And in this example, I will tell you all these steps to design the synchronous counter. So we have to design one count sequence. Fine. That count sequence starts from 0, 2, 1, 3, again go back to 0. Fine. So I am taking this question. So what is the first step? In the first step, you have to identify number of states and the flip-flops. So in the first steps, we have to identify the number of states and the number of flip-flop required to design this counter. Fine. So we have to design one counter that counts this sequence with the help of the D flip-flop. Fine. So now in this example, the maximum number is 3. Fine. So how many states? So basically in this example, there are the 4 states. States 0, 1, 2, 3. So total 4 states, and for the 4 states, how many flip-flops are required? In one flip-flops, how many states? 2 states. So for 4 states, we require 2 flip-flop here. Fine. So this counter can be designed with the help of 2 flip-flops. So this is most important step to design any synchronous counter. So I am taking these 2 D flip-flop. Fine. This is our D1, Q1, Q1 bar. I am denoting D naught, Q naught, Q naught bar. Fine. So this is our first step. The second step is we have to construct the state table. Fine. So the second step is construct the state table. How to construct the state table? You know the present state here is Q1, Q0. These are the present state and this is the next state. So our state table defines the present state and the next state. Next state I am denoting this Q1 plus and Q0 plus. And here in this counter design there are 2 inputs. One this D1, second one is D0. Fine. It is synchronous counter, so there is one common clock here. Fine. Fine. So this is our common clock. Now only the one thing remains here, D1 and the D naught. So how to find this D naught and the D1 value? These values can be found with the help of the state table. So your state table defines our present state and the next state. Fine. And here I am writing our inputs D1 and the D naught. Fine. So in this sequence, the sequences start from 0, then 2, then 1, 3, 0. So what is the first state? First state or the present state here is Q1 should 0 and Q0 should be 0. This should be 0, 0. Only in this case we can say it is 0. Fine. So what will the next state here? Next state is starts from 0 to 2. Fine. So next state I can say 1, 0. So here Q1 should be 1 and this Q0 should be 0. Fine. These are the next state. Fine. So now the present state is 1, 0. This is now the present state, and the next state becomes, if the present state is 2, next state is 1. Fine. So this is our next state. Fine. If I am saying our present state is 1, present state is 1 means this 0 and the 1. What will the next state? Next state should be 3 here, 1 and the 1. Fine. If I am saying present state is 3, if this 3 is our present state, the next state should be 0. This should be 0 and the 0. Fine. So now we have to find out this D1 values and this D0 values. Can anyone tell me how to find this D1 and the D0? This D1 and the D0 can be found with the help of the excitation table of D flip-flop. You know the excitation table? I already told you about the excitation table. In the excitation table, we have to find out the inputs D1 with the help of the Qn and the Qn plus 1 with the help of present state and the next state. Fine. If the present state is 0, next state is 1. What will be the, in the D flip-flop, Qn plus 1 is basically equal to the D, means the next state. This Qn plus 1 is next state. Fine. It should be equal to the D, means our D becomes what? 1, 0, 1, 0. Similar to this here, because from this formula, and our D0 becomes what? D0 becomes 0, 1, 1, 0 according to this. Fine. These are the our values of D0 and the D1. Fine. So what is the third step is write the excitation equation. Fine. So these are our excitation table. So now we have to write the excitation equation. So excitation equation. So how to write the excitation equation? D1, from here D1 is equal to what? D1 is 1 at the first position. So first position is Q1 bar and Q0 bar. Next position is basically Q1 bar and the Q0. We can take Q1 bar common from here, Q1 bar, and inside it becomes Q0 plus Q0 bar equal to the Q1 bar. So from this excitation table, it is also clear that D1 is equal to Q1 bar. Similarly, D0, how to find D0? D0 is 1 at what position? At this position, at this position. So D0 is equal to the Q1 into Q0 bar plus Q1 bar into Q0. So basically this is XOR of our Q1 and the Q0. Fine. This is our D0. Next step is minimize this equation. Minimize equation. So this, if there is a very long expression with more number of variables, then we have to use the K-map. Here these both are our minimized equation, so no minimization is needed here. What is the next step or the final step is draw the circuit by using this equation. Fine. So how to draw the circuit? So here you know the value of D1, you know the value of D0 here. So now this is our D1 and this is our D0. So how to write or how to draw these values here? Fine. So you know D1 is Q1 bar. So I connect this Q1 bar directly to this D1. And what is D0? D0 is XOR of Q0 and the Q1. So I am taking one XOR gate here and the inputs of XOR is over Q0 like this, and second input is over the Q1. Fine, like this, and this is given to the T0. So this is over the counter which count this sequence. Fine. So by using these 5 steps we can design any counter. So I am taking one more other example with more number of flip-flops. So design a counter that counts the sequence 0, 6, 5, 3, again 4 and 0. Fine. So this is our counter. So we can write this sequence in form of binary 0 and this becomes 1 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 1 and 1 0 0 and this is again 0. So according to the first step, identify the number of states and the flip-flops. So according to the first steps, how many states is here? Basically here 1 2 3 4 5. Fine. So there are 5 numbers we have to count. Fine. So basically there are maximum 6 states. So for the 6 state or the 7 states, because 0 to the 6, it becomes the 7 states. So for the 7 states, how many flip-flops are needed? 3 flip-flops are needed, and 3 flip-flops can count from the maximum number of states in 3 flip-flops is 8. Fine. And maximum number of states in 2 flip-flops is 4. Fine. So for this design, for this synchronous counter design, we need the 3 flip-flops here. Fine. So I am drawing these 3 flip-flops here, these 3 D flip-flops. Fine. So this is our D3, Q3, Q3 bar, this is D2, Q2, Q2 bar, this is D1, Q0 and the Q0 bar, and all are the connected with the help of one clock because this is over the synchronous counter. Fine. This is over the clock. Fine. So 3 flip-flops are needed here. What is the second step? Second step is we have to draw the state table. You know, in the state table, first what we have to write? First we have to write the present state. Then here the present state I am denoting Q3, Q2 and the Q1. I can write with this is Q1 here, not Q0. Fine. So Q1, and the next state is basically our Q3 plus Q2 plus and the Q1 plus. Fine. And the inputs, there are the 3 inputs. Inputs are D3, D2 and the D1. Fine. So we all know the states. What is the present state? Here the present state is 0 0 0. What is the next state? If the present state is 0, next state should be the 6. So next state is 1 1 0. If the present state is 6, what is the next state then? Next state is 1 0 1. Fine. So if the present state is 5 1 0 1, next state is the 3 in this case, that is 0 1 1. If the present state is 3, what is the next state is basically 4. If the present state is 4, the next state is basically the again 0. Fine. So this is our the state table, present state. This is the next state. Now the excitation table. Fine. So now we have to write the excitation table values of D flip-flops. You know, in the D flip-flops, Qn plus 1 is equal to the D basically. Fine. So Qn plus 1 is the next state. So D3 becomes basically 1, 1, 0, 1, 0. That is equal to this thing. What about D2? D2 becomes 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. What about D1? D1 becomes 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. Fine. So we can use other flip-flops. In other flip-flops, the excitation table changed. Fine. This is the only difference. Here I am taking the D flip-flops for the simplicity. Fine. So next step is basically we have to write the excitation equation. Fine. Third step is excitation equations. Fine. So how to write the excitation equation? You know, D3 is what? D3 is equal to, or this is 1 here, this is Q1 bar, Q2 bar, Q3 bar, and plus Q3, Q2, Q1 bar, plus Q3 bar, Q2, Q1. This is D3. Fine. So to minimize this or to simplify this D3, we have to use the K-map, or by using Boolean expression also you can simplify this. Fine. So my suggestion is you use the K-map for this. So these are our values of D3, D2, D1. So by using this K-map of D3, it is clear that this D3 can't be further minimized. Similarly, this D2 can't be further minimized and D1 can't be further minimized. So in this particular example, the fourth step, that is to minimize the excitation equation, is omitted here. So directly we go to the next step, that is the draw the circuit for D2, D1 and D3. So now this is our D3, this is D2, this is D1. So how to write these values? So next step is draw the circuit diagram. Fine. So here D3, you know, the D3 is basically the combination of our OR gate and gate. Fine. So this is basically what? It consists of this Q1 bar, this is Q2 bar, and this is Q3 bar. Fine. Next is our Q3, Q2 and Q1 bar. Fine. Next gate is our basically Q3 bar, Q2 and the Q1. Next, all these three are connected with the help of our one OR gate. Fine. And this is our D3. Similar to D2, D2 is basically, this is our two AND gate and these two AND gates are connected to one OR gate. Fine. So these are the three inputs given here. This is Q1 bar, Q2 bar, Q3 bar, and this is Q3, Q2 bar and the Q1. Fine. Similarly, D1 is the combination of two AND and one OR gate, like this. Fine. So this is our synchronous counter to count this sequence. Fine. Our next topic is synchronous binary counter. As the name suggests, synchronous binary counter means in the synchronous binary counter, suppose if we are saying n bit counter, then number of states in this is, that is capital N is equal to exact 2 to power n. Fine. So this is the meaning of binary counter. While in other synchronous counter, number of state is exact, may be exactly equal to 2 to power n or not equal to 2 to power n. Suppose if we are saying 4-bit synchronous binary up counter, what does it means? 4-bit means this is n, the number of state is 2 to power 4, that is the 16, means synchronous binary up counter counts from 0 to 15. This is the meaning of synchronous binary counter. Now there are two type of synchronous binary counter. One is our parallel counter. Second one is our series counter. One is synchronous binary parallel counter. Next is synchronous binary series counter. First we will discuss synchronous binary parallel counter. Fine. Now we will discuss synchronous binary parallel counter. In the synchronous binary parallel counter, here in these counters TCLK is greater than equal to the TPDF. Fine. So basically in the synchronous binary parallel counter, some other gates are used for the operation. Fine. So first we will draw the diagram of synchronous binary parallel counter, then we will study its the working. So here we are studying 4-bit synchronous binary parallel counter. 4-bit means 4 flip-flops are needed to design this 4-bit binary parallel counter, and there are 2 to power 4 16 states, means this counter counts from 0 to 15. We are studying this is the up counter. Fine. So here the 4 flip-flops are used for this synchronous binary up counter. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. These 4 flip-flops are used here. So I am saying you can design this counter with the help of JK flip-flops or the T flip-flops. So I am using here the T note, Q note, Q note bar, T1, Q1, Q1 bar. This is T2, Q2. Here also you can use J note, K note, J1, K1 and J2, K2 or J3, K3. Right? Fine. So you can design this counter using T flip-flops or the JK flip-flops, because in this counter works on the what? Toggle state, means when both inputs are 1J equal to 1, K equal to 1, then output toggles in each clock. Fine. So if T equal to 1, also our output toggles. So JK flip-flops can be used here. Fine. So here this should be 1. Fine. So first input, this T naught should be 1, because this is parallel counter. So all flip-flops are connected with one common clock. Fine. Like this. This is our clock. Fine. And this Q naught is connected to this, and after that one AND gate is used, and this is connected to our T2. Now the other AND gate is used. In this AND gate, one input is this and the other input is Q1 and the Q0, and this is given to the T3. Fine. So this is our parallel counter. Why it is called the parallel counter? What is the difference between parallel and the series counter? In the parallel counter, both these gates, this first AND gate, second AND gates, all these are connected in the parallelly. Fine. While in the binary series counter, the output of one AND gate is connected to input of the other AND gate. Fine. So that counter is called the synchronous binary series counter. Here now we will study it's the truth table. Here, can you please tell me it's the what is T clock here? You know, T clock is greater than equal to the T PDF plus T PD AND. Because this is parallel counter, so both these ANDs, this first gate and this second gates, both are connected parallelly. So TPD AND plus setup time. Fine. So here this is our T clock of this parallel counter. Fine. So this is total time period. So this is 4-bit counter. So for n-bit parallel counter, it becomes TCLK greater than, because here only one delay of T flip-flops. So it remains same because this is synchronous counter, and also because if in n-bit counters, how many AND gates are used? n-2 AND gates are used, but all these n-2 AND gates are connected in parallel. Fine. So that's why only one AND gate delay is counted here. Fine. And plus setup time. Fine. So this is total time period of the clock, or total time period of clock required for proper operation of this synchronous binary parallel counter. Fine. Now we will study its analysis. So now you know, when the T naught is equal to the 1 and clock is applied, fine, or the positive edge of the clock, because this is positive edge trigger. So when the positive clock is applied, then Q naught toggles. Fine. Similarly, at what time Q1 toggle? Q1 toggles when T1 is equal to the 1 and clock is applied. So when T is equal to the 1, when T1 is equal to the 1 and clock is applied, then again this Q1 toggle. Fine. Similarly, at what time our Q2 toggles? Q2 toggles when T2 is 1. T2 is 1 when Q0 into Q1 is 1. Fine. Only because the output, because here the input, this is Q0, this is Q1, when the AND of Q0 and Q1 is equal to the 1, only in that case T2 should be 1 and Q2 toggles. Q3 toggles when, similarly T3 is 1, and when T3 is 1, when the Q0 dot Q1 into Q2 is 1 and the clock is applied. These are the main condition on which its analysis depends, or whole its working is depends. Fine. So what happens when, so in the 0th clock, so I am assuming Q3, Q2, Q1 and Q0. Initially all are at the clear position, means 0, 0, 0, 1. Because this is synchronous binary parallel up counter, so what happens? It counts from 0 to 15. Fine. So now this Q3, Q2, Q1, Q0 all are at clear position. And what about this T3, T2, T1, and this is over T0. Fine. So when no clock is applied at that time, these are also 0, 0, T3 is 0, T2 is also 0, T1 is also 0, and T2 is we are giving initially this T2 1. Fine. So in the next clock, what happens? In the first clock, what happens? This Q3 remains 0 because T3 is 0. Again, this Q2 remains 0 because this T2 is 0. Now this Q1 remains 0 because T1 is 0. What happens with this Q0? Q0 toggles or not? Yes, Q0 toggles because T0 is 1 and clock is applied. If T0 is 1, then Q0 toggles, means it changes from 0 to 1. Fine. Now what about T3, T2, T1, T0? T3 remains 0, T2 also remains 0. What about T1? Now what about T1? T1 becomes 1 here because this Q0 is directly connected to this T0. Fine. So T1 becomes 1 here and T0 remains 1. Always we remains T0 at the 1 position. Fine. Now this Q0 is directly connected to T1, so this T1 also becomes 1. What happens in the next clock? If the next second clock is applied, then what about Q3? Q3 remains 0 or 1? Q3 remains 0 because T3 is 0 here, so it remains 0. What about Q2? Q2 also remains 0. What about Q1 now? See, Q1 now in the previous T1 becomes 1. If the T1 is 1, then according to this condition, over Q1 toggles, so Q1 toggles means this becomes 1. Again, this Q0 in every clock Q0 toggles because our T0 always remains at position 1. So every time our Q0 toggles. So now this Q0 toggles from 1 to 0. Fine. So what about now our T3? T3 remains 0. Fine. And what about this T2? Now this T1 should be 1 and Q0 should be 1. But this Q0 is at 0. So this remains at 0. Fine. What about this T1 now? Now this T1 becomes 0 because this Q0 now becomes 0. It is directly connected to this T0. It becomes 0 and here T0 remains at the first position. Fine. So what about in the next clock? In the next clock, what happens? Q3 remains 0. Q2 remains 0 because T2 is 0. What about this Q1 now? What about this Q1? Because previously, now this T1 is basically 0. Fine. So if it is 0, so our Q1 remains in the previous state, means it will not toggle. So previously Q1 was 1. And what about this Q0? Now this Q0 toggles to 1. Fine. So in the previous it was 0, it was counted 1, now 2, now 3. Fine. So what about T3 now? You know the formula for the T3. T3 should be 1 when Q0 into Q1 into Q2 should be 1. But no, it is not 1. So T3 remains 0 here. What about T2? T2 should be 1 when Q0 into Q1 should be 1. Here Q0, yes. Now the T2 is 1 here because see Q0, Q1 both are 1 1. So AND of 1 and 1, it becomes 1. Fine. What about T1? T1 should be here 0 or the 1. Now see T1, Q0 is directly connected to the T1 and Q0 is 1. So T0 is also, T1 is also 1. And what about T0? This remains the 1. Fine. What happened in the next clock? If the fourth clock is applied, then it becomes 0. Fine. Now Q2 becomes what? 1 or 0. Initially, previously it was 0. Now the Q2 is 1. If the Q2 is 1, then the Q2 toggle. If the Q2 toggles, it changes to 1 here. Fine. What about Q1? What about Q1? Here, see, T1 is also 1. If T1 is 1, then Q1 toggles. It toggles. What about Q0? Q0 toggles in every clock cycles like this. Fine. So the process remains same in every clock cycle, and similarly it will count up to 15 like this. Fine. And in the last all becomes 1. Fine. So this is the working of the up counter. For the down counter, how to design down counter synchronous parallel down counter. Fine. Synchronous binary parallel down counters. For the down counters, Q bar is connected to T. Fine. So for the down counters, see this Q0 bar is connected to here. Fine. So similarly, now we will study the series counter. So what happens in the series counters? There is only one difference in the series counters. In the series counters, this output of this gate is connected to here like this. This is our second AND gate, and this is connected to this, and this is connected to here this. So this is over the series counter. Fine. So in the series counters, all these gates are connected, or these AND gates are connected in series. So in the series counter, this output of this first AND gate is connected to the input of the second AND gate. Fine. So this is synchronous binary series counter. Fine. So basically, what is the T clock of this synchronous binary series counter? Here in this counter, both this AND gate and this AND gates are connected in series of each other. So here T clock should be greater than equal to the T PDF plus T setup times plus the 2 TP AND. Fine. So if we are talking n bit series counter, so n bit series counters, what is TCLK? So TCLK should be greater than equal to the TPDF plus T setup times plus n minus 2 TP AND. Fine. So this is the clock time period for the series counter. Fine. So this is important. So working of this remains same as the parallel counter. Fine. Here the number of states is 60 in the 4-bit series counter, and this is 4-bit series up counter. If you want to design the down counter, so in the down counter, this Q0 bar is connected to T1, Q1 bar is connected to here this AND gate, and this Q2 bar is connected to here this AND gate. Fine. And similarly here this Q0 bar is connected to this first AND gate. Fine. So at that time we are saying this counter behaves as the down counter. Fine. And it counts from 15 to 0. Fine. So this is all about the synchronous binary series counter and synchronous binary parallel counter. If you have any doubt regarding this lecture, then you can contact me directly and you can send me a mail. So students, please subscribe this channel for more latest videos and lectures of this course. Thank you for your attention.